Hey, so thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Christy with Living Well Nutrition, and I just got back from a run in the rain. So this is me, this is my real life, and this is my real kitchen. And I'm trying to put together a late night meal on a Sunday night for my family that won't take a lot of time, but it's going to be nourishing. So somebody in my family requested chili, and I just want to show you how you can make chili at home. And it's going to be really nutritious, and it's going to be anti-inflammatory and full of vegetables. And you'll be glad that you learned how to do it. So the first thing you need to do when you are cooking from home is you really have to have the right equipment. And so some of the equipment that I like, I call this my kitchen tractor. This is my KitchenAid. I don't have, well, I have every attachment I think that KitchenAid makes, and I love it. So I just put my big red pot here. This is an enamel coated iron pot, and I've chopped up 4 onions. So I've got well over 4 cups of onions in there, and 10 or 12 cloves of garlic. And garlic and onions are both amazing for detoxification and something you want to include in your diet on a regular basis as long as you can tolerate them. We will also be adding canned beans. Now, canned beans are really high in folate, and if you have methylation issues, you want to make sure you're eating foods that are high in folate on a regular basis. Obviously, not everybody can tolerate beans. If you have a problem with lectins, you wouldn't be putting in 3 cans of beans, but that's something that we can eat, and we eat them on a regular basis. We'll also be adding, now fresh versus canned, that's a debate that people have. You will get more nutrients if you start with dried beans and you soak them. You can soak them overnight, cook them, but they'll take, depending on the age of the beans, if they've sat in your pantry for a while, they could take 4 hours to cook. Like I said, you'll have a little bit more nutrition if you do that. However, it's not going to save you. You're not going to get a huge amount more than what you're going to get if you simply just use the can. And like I said, this is Sunday night. It's late. I've been working out, and I'm trying to put together a healthy meal. So we're going to use canned tonight. We're also going to add in 2 cans of tomatoes. And the neat thing about tomatoes is actually they are more the nutrients in the tomato, the lycopene, is actually more bioavailable after it's been cooked and canned. So while I use fresh tomatoes, and I'm growing fresh tomatoes in the garden, I'm actually going to give my family a little bit of a nutrient boost by opening a couple of cans of tomatoes. So this pot of chili is going to be 2/3 vegetables and about 1/3 meat. Now the meat I'm using, this is exciting, we actually bought our own cow, and so we have our meat processed here. We got to meet this cow in the pasture before we had him, before we bought him and had him processed. And when you're buying a grass-fed cow, there's certain things that you want to look for. A tasty cow, well, first of all, you want a cow that's only had grass, and hay is included in that. You can have a cow that's been fed hay. I know that this particular cow primarily had alfalfa. I did have a relationship with the rancher. We know each other. He's somebody that I could actually go out to the ranch and pick out this cow. So if you have that opportunity, and you're going to look for a cow, what you want to look for is a cow with a really wide jaw and a wide chest and short legs. Because a cow with those kind of genetics, they're going to gain more weight. They're going to be like a lawnmower running through a pasture. And they're going to be able to gain fat on grass. Now, the kind of fat that they gain is different than a cow that is fed corn at the feedlot. And so when a cow fattens up on grass or on alfalfa, they're going to have a high level of omega-3 fatty acids, and that's the anti-inflammatory fats. Once a cow goes to the feedlot and they start getting a corn-based diet, that fat profile starts to shift, and it's measurable within 2 weeks, and they're usually there for 6 to 8 weeks. And you get a very high omega-6 fatty acid. That's an inflammatory fat. And if you have an inflammatory condition, you really need to stay away from corn-fed beef. Grass-fed beef, on the other hand, because it's so high on the omega-3, it's very similar to even wild-caught salmon. And while I love salmon, I'm probably not going to eat it every day. So we will use grass-fed beef and know that we're still doing ourselves a huge favor with a healthy fat profile. Now, Americans, the standard American diet has an inversion on healthy fats in their diet. Typically, the American diet, omega-6 to omega-3 is about 20 to 1. And what we want is a 3 to 1. So when you have that many inflammatory fats in your diet, inflammatory conditions, low back pain, maybe even arthritic pain, shoulder or neck pain, those will all improve when you improve your fatty acid balance. So